So I went out of town this past weekend and I was able to hang out with a lot of different rhythm gamers from across the states, as well as players from outside of the country. And I had an idea. How do other rhythm game skill sets transfer over to Project Sakai? So I asked a CHUNITHM player if he'd be interested in playing some songs.
Hi, my name's Graham, or 4199, and I've been playing CHUNITHM since 2020. My rating is 17.1 at maximum.
This is 4199. Not only does he play Chuni, but also a ton of other rhythm games to a pretty high level, like Pump It Up, My, U-Beat, and the list goes on. But today we're focusing on the Chuni aspect of his skill set. For those of you who have never heard of CHUNITHM before, I don't blame you. It's pretty tough finding an arcade outside of Asia that has any cabs. But simply put, CHUNITHM is an arcade rhythm game developed by Sega, and I like to think of this as the older sibling of Project Sakai. I don't want to say predecessor because both games are actively being worked on and receiving updates, but even at a first glance, you can tell Project Sakai takes a huge inspiration from elements of CHUNITHM. The biggest difference between the two, though, is that Chuni has airs, which is basically having to lift your hands off the slider to trigger the sensor. Chuni also has flicks, but it's locked behind the master difficulty. Thank God. So you won't be seeing them in the lower levels. Anyways, let's get to some gameplay. Note that 4199 has seen bits and pieces of some songs, but these are essentially sight reads, and he's never played a pen charts until now.
How did this happen?
You hit the
Oh no! Oops.
yeah, on an iPad, you can accidentally close the app.
So I gotta avoid the bottom a little bit.
Yeah. So would you say Chuni skills transfer over pretty well?
I'd say fundamentally, yes. Reading some of these patterns, very similar to CHUNITHM, but the game's mechanics and the feeling of the game is very different, especially on how you follow the slides. And also learning to hit the up arrows, not by lifting your hand, but flicking upwards is a little unfamiliar.
Yeah.
But if you're a Chuni player and you move over to some of the harder stuff, especially the ones that have you moving your fingers individually, like this type of stuff, you're gonna have a big buff.
Space compared to a Chuni cab?
It is a little different because on the cab, you'll definitely be using your index finger and ring finger a lot like Sound Voltex, but the form factor of the iPad is so small you have to switch to using your index fingers and your middle fingers instead. So like kind of like this rather than this, because this is usually the normal width of the Chuni slider. So you're kind of, it is a little bit cramped. And especially in CHUNITHM, there's a lot of use with the thumbs, but in an iPad, there's no room for thumbs. Yeah. Thumbs are completely out of the equation.
You call them crossovers or crosshands?
I'm having a hard time. I would call them a cross hand, because that's what the Sound Voltex players call them. Oh my goodness. They don't mess around with these pen charts. It's just that difficult. Definitely has some Sound Voltex inspired patterns.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a little happy to mention ending.
No way. You have to go over on the top of the lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they've developed the charting so much since the beginning of this game. It's amazing. No, it's just that hard. Damn. Oh my god. And it's 20XX over here.
I said that. Oh, very good. Very good.
Oh, I'm happy with it. Thank you.
Oh, I don't know. The Chuni players understand what I was trying to do there.
Nice.
This game is impossible. I will be buying an iPad after this to try and challenge it.
Nice.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lao Loser.
Overall, I think having a background in Chuni can help with reading patterns and learning finger positioning, and vice versa. Playing Project Sakai can be the stepping stone into getting started with Chuni. But like I was saying earlier, it's unfortunate that CHUNITHM is pretty rare to find outside of Asia. But if you're looking for another game to help improve your skill set for Project Sakai that is also widely available, I would say try out Osumania. Actually, I wonder how a 4-key player would do playing Project Sakai.